Hello guys, a very warm welcome. And here in this session, we are going to discuss how to deploy and publish your HTML and CSS code on GitHub and how you can see that your code is working live. Correct? So step by step, we are going to see it. Step number one is if you are not having any account on GitHub, then you have to create an account. And if you are already having the account, then you just log in, right? So GitHub account creation and login. This is step number one. For that, you just need to go to browser, and if you are going to be on the browser, you can see github.com login, right? You have to type github.com login, and you have to put your credentials and using which you have to sign, right? So let me try to sign, right? So I have signed in into my GitHub account. Step number two is on the rightmost position, you are seeing a plus icon button. On the rightmost position, what you are seeing, a plus button. You have to click on this plus button, right? So step number two is on rightmost corner, click on plus button, right? This is step two. On rightmost side, you have to click on this plus button and click on new repository. So you need to click on new repository, right? So step three is create new repository. Clear? And step number four here is when you are going to click on new repository, here you are going to see your username. It is my username. And here in repository name, you have to create your repository, which should be unique. If you haven't created any repository yet, it would be unique itself. But if you are having working in GitHub from earlier days, then you may have so many repositories, right? So you have to create unique repositories. So let me create repository BWT, but BWT is already existent in my account. So let me put BWT11. So my repository name is BWT11. You can set this repository name anything you can set, right? So step four is set repository name. Clear? Step number five. Step number five. In step number five, what you need to do, because we are only seeing it from very scratch, step by step. So each and every step should be clear to all of you, right? After that, you have to click on this create repository. After that, you have to click on this create repository, right? So step number five is after setting repository name, click on create repository, right? I hope up to here, up to step number five, it is clear. Now let's move to step number six. Now in step number six, what you need to do, you are having here quick setup. In code portion, you can create a new file. You should click on create a new file. So after clicking on create a new file, you need to set the name of this file. Let me try to set the name of this file is index.html. You can set any name, right? I have set an index.html inside this repository. So what you need to do after creating repository, create a new file and give it a name with HTML extension and give it a name with HTML extension. HTML extension may be html.html, or you can also set .html. Both are acceptable. So in step number six, you need to do this. Right? So here index.html we have created. Now here you have to put your HTML code. Here you have to put your HTML code. Now you can write your HTML code here, or you can write your HTML code on Visual Studio Code also. I have write one code of animation which is working in HTML. So you can write it on your Visual Code Studio. After that you can copy also. After that you can upload this file also. Many options are there. So what I am doing, I am just copying all the code which I have written in Visual Studio Code, and I am just copying it. Right. Further, what other way is there? We can also upload this file. We can also upload this file, right? But I just uh, updated the code here, right? And after updating the code here, you can simply see that I am having HTML code here, as well as I am having CSS code here, right? CSS code is there in between style tags. In this between style tags, I am also having HTML tag. So basically we are using internal CSS here. So HTML and CSS, both files are in the same code. So no need to create any extra file. However, you can create different CSS file also. But as of now, we are working on internal HTML, internal CSS. So you can just put your CSS code here also. But you have already know that how to put external CSS. Just write this code. Just write this code into different HTML, different CSS file, and you have to link it in the header tag. That is the way via which you can use external CSS also. After that, after putting that code, you have to commit. You have to commit this code, commit new file. So I have committing a code, and inside my repository, you can simply see that here index.html is there. So after creating a new file, step number seven is upload your HTML code, or write or write HTML code in code interface in your repository, right? I hope that up to step number 7 all the things are clear, as I am doing the task step by step. And now you are going to see that one repository with the name index.html is here. After that, what you need to do, you have to create on hit here main, and here it is main, it is set by default, so we have to change it, right? We have to change the name of this branch, right? So what we can do, we have to click on the edit. After clicking on the branch, we have to edit it, and we have to provide the name master. So I am providing it master, right? So I am renaming the branch as a master, right? So what you can do, step 8, by default it may be directly master branch in your GitHub also. So your branch should be master, right? After that, what you need to do in step number 9, in step number 9, you again come to here your repository, and then you have to, this part is called as, this part is up to here it is called as deployment, because you can click on your repository, you can click on your repository bwt11. So what it is, right? It is your repository. So this is called as deployment. Now if you want to publish it, you have to click on setting button. You have to click on setting button, right? So up to here what we have done, deployment of our code, right? And in step 9, what we are seeing, how to publish it. So for publishing, you have to click on setting. So after clicking on settings, you have to go to here in the leftmost portion. You have been seen a option is there, that is pages. You have to click on this pages, right? So click on setting, and step number 10 is click on pages. Under this repository, under this GitHub repository, you can see option pages. So we have clicked on these pages. Now here you can see source is deploy from a branch, and here branch you need to set as a master, and you have to save it. Correct? You have to save it. Now you can see step number 11. Step number 11 is click on branch and set it as master. Right? Now, after setting here, your branch is master, you have to click on save. Once you are going to click on save, you can create on GitHub Pages also, which you can reference that this is how you can deploy your code. And basically this is just documentation, so you can follow it. Right? Now what you need to do, if you need to perform, if you want to see, that how your code is working, then what you need to do, you need to go into your repository again. Here, this is your repository, and you want to run it. Right? So the index is, you need to write your username first. That is my username of GitHub. Right? And thereafter, before it, what you need to write, github.com, and thereafter you need to write your username. That is Rahul Jain CSC51. It is my username, and after that BWT11. That is your repository name. And if you are going to click it, you can see that you are having your repository here. And just to check that whether this repository is showing you live code or not. Right? Just to check that whether this repository is showing you live code or not, you can see here again, you have to come onto the GitHub Pages. Your site is live at this point. HTTPS your username rahuljancsc51.github.io, and then repository name is there. Right? So you can visit the site, and you can see whatever code I have written inside that, that complete code is live on the website. And this live code is what website? Rahuljan CSC51. This is my username of GitHub. Thereafter github.io, and then BWT11. BWT11 is repository name of mine, and it is domain name of GitHub. And before it, I am having username of mine. Right? So username, you will have your own username. Let's say abc.github.io, and then your repository name. And this is the way you can publish your website. This is how you can use GitHub Pages to design or host your personal or organizational or any projects in GitHub repository. Right? So you have to come again to the pages, and you can see many times if this block will not come, you manually can write https and then // your username.github.io, and then // and then your repository name, and you can see your output. Right? So this code is already been written. So what you can do, you can write your code on this also, but it is better practice that we write our code on any particular compiler or interpreter, and thereafter we can upload that code. So here you can see add a file. If you want to upload file, you can also click on upload files and directly choose your files. And let's say I am having CSS programs here, so you can upload any files. Let's say animation 2, and we can upload it. Right? So you can simply see animation.html and then commit change. So this is also one of the way via which you can upload the file. And if you want to write code here, then create new file. You can give any name, let's say abc.htm, and you can write your fresh code here. And thereafter you have to commit it. So after committing it, deployment will be done. After deployment will be done, you have to go to settings. And after settings, you need to visit pages. And after visiting pages, you have to choose your master branch, and you can just visit your live site. Right? I hope it is clear. Further, if anybody have any doubt or any confusion or any query that these things are not coming, or how to link external CSS, if any doubt, any confusion, any query is there, please feel free to ask. I will resolve your queries as early as possible. Thank you so much, guys. Have a very nice day. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.